Hello everyone, and welcome to Sunset in Pripyat for Boulevard of Glowing Dreams once again. It's actually a rather nice day outside, take a look. Ah, that is gorgeous, look at that, that's just wonderful. Okay, so, two things, I guess. There was a lot of very, I will say compassionate, but I'll settle for positive response. Just look at those beams, like that's lovely. From my quick little vlog video I did, about 6.5 minutes or so.
Well, spill it.
What's up, bro?
So I'm going to try and give a few more details about that over the course of this video. Bear in mind, this video could go up and all of these issues have been sorted, I don't know. But that's just sort of the kind of uncertainty I'm living cripplingly under right now. You can see by the green I've done Vano again, and let's see, our friends with Mite are all over here. Yeah, covered that quest again. And I even went on Uncle Yar's sniping expedition, so he's done as well. But whilst I was en route to do Mite again, I got a call from Trapper, which went a little something like this.
Hey, it's Trapper. I just had a hunter here who saw a chimera last night. Judging by the description, it's the same one we're after. Come see me if you can. It's important.
So it would seem that Trapper has managed to find our next monster hunting target, so we'll be doing that mostly today. Also probably next episode, because I'm going to try and film 2 episodes tonight. But on to the topic of the hour, as it were, which is my situation with university. I just got back, more or less, from being in the labs for a good 4 hours, 4+ hours, right up until they closed at midnight. Putting up all my savings for this, 10,000. Ooh. Near reliable and experienced hunter, and I'm the best Yarnov has to offer. Fun fact, I checked out the speedruns, which are a fantastic way to kill any kind of enjoyment out of a game here, but I checked out a speedrun of, oddly enough, that specific mission. You can kill those 2 burrows in 46 seconds with a knife. I took 20-odd minutes with a gun, and grenades and all sorts, which personally I think makes better camera work, but anyways, I digress. Okay, so after all that's happened, I can't let the Chimera escape again. Okay, I shall deal with the Chimera. Hunter who found him saw it just as it got dark. It was headed towards the ventilation complex. Chimeras are nocturnal and territorial, so it was probably going to its hunting grounds. I think that's where you should look for it come nightfall. Wait, hang on, if it's nocturnal, wouldn't the best time to go and find it be during the day when it's asleep? Then again, it's alright when it's dark. Be careful and good hunting. Okay. Will do. So yeah, I just got back from the labs. I've been trying to spend 5 hours in the labs on a fairly daily basis. I actually worked out I'm pretty much running a full work week in the labs alone, just trying to get these research works done. But I actually haven't gotten that much completed. The reason being that the 2 big assignments I was given one fairly small one, which I've sort of left by the wayside so far, just because it is so very small. There's a stash by the parking lot as well. We'll go check that out. We'll hop by the quarry on the way, because there's another one there, and actually there's one right ahead of us. Okay, let's pick up some of my roaming stashes that I've gotten just from various things. And ooh, look at that lights! Oh, sunset is so pretty around here. I'm getting distracted again. Sorry. So yeah, I've got 2 big assignments, and the problem I'm having is that 90% of the work in the first of those 2 assignments is worth approximately 20, maybe 25 at best % of the grades, which is absolutely horrible figuring, for one thing. And also, 90% of that is also pure trial and error. There's no documentation on how to do it, there weren't any specific lessons or lectures on it, and I was advised that there is a textbook that was released after our run of the module finished, but there was only 3 copies of them in the library, and my tutor told his students to buy all of them. So I've only just recently received word they've actually manifested inside the libraries. Here we go. Okay, ooh. Sure. And I'm over encumbered, so let's unload that and drop it. We have 7 shotguns now. Okay, and we want to be heading back that way, I think, to get to the quarry. Yeah, right about this way. So yeah, there's really no marker for how long that could take. It's just fiddling with code to try and get things to work properly, and you have basically no clue whatsoever because we haven't been told what to do or all sorts of this. So when we originally did that that assignment, it took us about a month. And that was during term time when we were having lectures weekly to talk about this and practicals to have to be looked over by the tutor and all sorts, and when I was getting my support sessions because my brain chemistry doesn't work the way that everyone else's does. So what people assume is to be done from an assignment brief, I assume something different, which can really seriously screw me up. And I haven't been able to get those because I just haven't had the time to actually find the people I have to talk to sort that out in the course of getting anything done. So from then, we get to the second assignment, which is built on the first. And in fact, with the first one, the other 80-odd% of the marks are built on that first 20%. So I've spent 90% of this time just trying to get that 20% workable so I can get any marks whatsoever. Bearing in mind, I've had 4 weeks to do all 3 of these assignments, and the first week was eaten up by someone being very lazy with the paperwork, such that by the time I actually got this deadline and such, it was already way into my first week. So I basically lost that first week just by virtue of someone mulling about with the paperwork. What on earth is that thing? That is interesting. Can I get my... That is an interesting looking thing. Hello. Seems we've got company over there. Okay, but there should be a stash down here. And then I suppose the topic that everyone's wondering about, which is my mental and emotional state as a consequence of this. Ooh. Which is beginning with the game has crashed for some reason. Back in a moment. Right. So, my mental state. I'm basically working a full work week here of just being in the labs, getting any of this research work done. Having a lot of trouble sleeping, as you already know. I'm barely eating. I can't remember the last time I cooked a meal. If I did, it was probably soup. Yeah, it sounds like there's some dogs or something around here. Ah, there they are. Don't think they're near my stash. And mostly the reason that I'm... apparently this is another crash anomaly. Grr. What the heck, I'll just tell you, I guess. Mostly the reason that I'm having trouble eating is just because I'm running around doing my classes and going to the labs to get things sorted and all sorts, so I'm eating absolutely terribly whatever I am eating. This most recent night in the labs, I just went to Tesco and I bought some rubbishy cheap donuts and a drink of Fanta and a box of sandwiches, and that's actually one of the healthiest meals I've had in the labs in a long while, because usually I will grab a chocolate milkshake and like this little tub of sweets that the student union sells for like £3 a pop or something. And whilst they're very good at keeping you awake, they have utterly ruined my neurology. I am getting headaches on a daily basis because of this. I'm downing so much paracetamol that it's just ridiculously unhealthy. And then I'm not sleeping because partially staying up so long trying to get things done in the labs, and partially going to my final year classes and finding out that we're having to make these big plans into the year, and I don't even know if I'll be here in like 2 weeks. My deadline is the 29th for all 3 of these pieces of work. And if I fail any one of them by even 1 point, that was like 39 out of 40. Bearing in mind they're actually like 100, so 40%, I mean. Then I fail, and I've wasted about 4 years of my life. Which is not fantastic, and I know there's a lot of people saying that, university isn't absolutely everything, and I can understand what they mean. Except it is for me, because I'm a short, pale, reclusive, autistic, 2-foot-long ponytail-bearing guy, and I don't have any certificates or awards or anything worth diddly squat. I am not strong, I am not capable of engineering or going for an apprenticeship or any of this, and I don't have the money to get any more education. So I can't get a job because I don't have any kind of degrees, and I can't get a degree because I don't have a job to get money. And even if I could manage to get some kind of job, it would be more or less what I'm doing this specific instant. It would be absolutely life-killingly painful for me to do. I came to a rather shuddering realization over the course of the last few hours, which was when I was in secondary school, I was bullied on a daily basis for about the better part of 10 years by a couple hundred, certainly higher estimates have put it to 1,000 people. And more than one time, I went down the rather horrible route of contemplating suicide. Now, things did cheer up after secondary school, and it's something that's been largely bleached from my mind, but I came to the realization in the last few hours that this is more or less the same kind of mindset where I started to contemplate it. That is how absolutely torturous and awful this situation is, where I'm doing all this work to get my final year done, which I'm really excited about. I want to get to grips with my final year project, I want to do it well, and I want to get my degree and go on to do other things, but I'm living with the knowledge at the moment that if I slip up on this ancillary little piece of work that someone should have told me about months ago, then it all vanishes and I have no hope of getting it again. If I did somehow find the finance later on to come back to university, probably not this one because god I had enough problems already, I would probably have to start all over again, and that's probably a good £20,000. So if I don't get my degree this year, I don't get it at all, effectively. It's fair enough to say that it's not the end of the world, but it sort of is for me, because I don't have any other options. Now, that isn't entirely true. I have formally done a couple of more options, which I'm sure some of you would like to hear. So one of them is YouTube, which I'm sure some of you might be happy to hear. And it is possible to make a living off of YouTube. It's possible to get quite popular and successful on YouTube. Look at Toll Biscuit and of course the Oxcast and all that. But it's not easy by any stretch. I mean, if you look at my videos now, between people just sort of dropping off of my subscribers and all of the subscriber issues that have been going on via YouTube, and even most recently with children going back to school, I have been struggling to get over 100 views on my videos. And you need to really be getting about 300 on a daily basis to get even remotely noticed by anyone. And then there's also things like audience retention, watching the majority of my videos and leaving comments and liking and all that kind of stuff. And that gets me a fair bit of exposure and helps me grow quite a bit, but not exactly something I can ask you guys to just do out of the goodness of your hearts. And the plan C, I guess it would be, the plan A is university, is take the final year project that I'm so very, very fond of, and develop it to an actual, like, retail standard of some description, and then present it to a company to sort of just jab my foot in the door, presumably get then hammered on by a few people. I think... I'm fairly certain that my final year project has a great deal of merit, and I'm very certain it hasn't been tried before. But that would take over a year of time, and I don't have that right now. Probably if I somehow fail university and don't manage to get a job or something, I'll probably be living at in my dad's house, where he will most likely be expecting to pay rent. So I probably wouldn't have the time to do that kind of thing, and even if I could, I wouldn't have half the resources I have here to help me do it. So we wheel back once again to university, and why I'm feeling very, very despondent and doom-ridden, as the case may be. And it's getting very hard for me to cope under that kind of emotional stress. There are times when I'm quite happy with the progress I'm making and getting some of this work done. It's very, very irritating work, but very quickly that turns to, hang on, this is going great now, but what if I hit another bug in the next 5 minutes and I can't do anything in 2 weeks? Well, then I failed it and I can't do anything at all anymore. Well, that's kind of destruction. So I've got these occasional moments of happiness, and I've got these moments of, this is great, I wish I could really keep doing this, but they probably won't let me because I know them, I have experience with them, and they tend to be dicks. And that's not me just, like, insulting them because they're not going my way, they're... I probably shouldn't say that much, I guess. But that's probably enough for one episode, I think. Yeah, you can hear more about it with the next episode. I'm probably going to put up another Boulevard after this.
Get that thing out of my
enjoy
face.
whatever background footage I put together for this.
Speak to the big bad boss. If you need something, the boss is over there.
Black screen video. Lying podcast, everyone. So yeah, all of the comments that I've been getting and the slightly disturbingly better than usual reception to that last vlog video over almost everything else I've done recently. That wasn't posted on Reddit anyways. Thank you very much for that, I very much appreciate it. All of the good vibes, and that's one thing I suppose I should explain, is why I'm still making these videos when I've got all this to do. Well, there's more or less two things that I've been keeping up with despite all of this workload, and that is going to the Animation and Comic Society on a Thursday night, as I always do, which I have done since my first year at university, and there is making these videos. I make the videos largely because they're fairly quick to do. I can just sit in front of my camera playing a video game for like half an hour or so, and then just edit together and leave it to render by itself for a couple of hours and just upload, no problem. Half of that is automatic. But the reason I do either of them, and indeed both of them, is to keep whatever little sanity I still have intact. There's like, the student union mandates, as a quick example, mandates that students have to have a lunch break, basically. Well, this is my work break, to make sure that I don't go completely off the deep end into whatever happiness or unhappiness or madness or lunacy might be on the other end of it. So I'm still making the videos for you guys, because I enjoy making them. I find making them relaxing, and it certainly warms my heart to know that you guys enjoy them, even if it doesn't necessarily show up in the web stats. But, as I say, I think that's about enough for one episode, so I hope you've enjoyed the footage, and I shall catch you all next time. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and or a favourite, follow me on Twitter, and subscribe to be notified of future updates. You can also check out the website where most other content is uploaded. That's all for now, catch you later.